Good evening. The time now is 11 p.m. Our headlines. Fire broke out at the Ministry of Finance office. Anwar rejects paternal nickname, and at least 33 dead in bus incident in Colombia. Hello there, you're now with me, Douglas Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. We begin with a top story. A fire broke out at the Ministry of Finance office in Putrajaya this afternoon. According to sources, the incident happened at around 2:30 p.m. Meanwhile, Putrajaya Fire and Rescue Department informed that the fire was caused by solid waste at a dump site. Thankfully, the fire managed to be contained. No casualties were reported in the incident. The Finance Ministry, in a statement, is still waiting for the official report from the authorities about the cause of the fire. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim has called upon Malaysians not to call him Papa or by any affectionate paternal nickname. In a Twitter reply, the Tambun Member of Parliament replied to a message from a Twitter user who wished him good morning under his post on corruption amongst politicians in Malaysia. Anwar's refusal to use a paternal nickname is seen as moving away from the practice of former Prime Ministers Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, who were comfortable with portraying themselves as the national father figure. Ismail Sabri and Muhyiddin had been referred to as Pak Long and Abah respectively. In Colombia, at least 33 people died when a landslide buried a bus in northwestern Colombia on Sunday, and 9 have been rescued alive. The landslide caused by strong rains hit the vehicle between the villages of Pueblo Rico and Santa Cecilia in Rizalda province, about 230 kilometers northwest of the capital, Bogota. The bus was traveling from Cali, Colombia's third largest city, to the municipality of Condoto in Choco province.
La lamentable noticia nos tiene muy tristes de que hemos identificado ya 33 personas muertas, entre ellos 3 menores de edad. Hemos rescatado con vida a 9 personas, 4 de ellas están en este momento en estado crítico.
Meanwhile, Rizalda governor said that rescuers are digging through the mud for survivors, and authorities said 9 people have been rescued alive. One of those was a 7-year-old girl found clinging to her deceased mother.
Sí, dentro de las personas que pudimos rescatar con vida, una niña de 7 años que en este momento la tenemos en el Hospital San Jorge de Pereira con algunas lesiones menores y que desafortunadamente la encontramos aferrada a su mamá, en donde además falleció un niño de un poco más de un año, hermanito de ella, en una tragedia mayúscula frente a esta situación que estamos atravesando.
Colombia's President Gustavo Petro described the incident as a tragedy in a Twitter message. Colombia had been hit by an unusually heavy rainy season, blamed on the La Niña weather phenomenon. According to government statistics, events linked to heavy rains have killed more than 216 people and left 538,000 homeless so far in 2022.
Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Eskandaria has donated her 36-year-old krinkan from her private collection to the Sarawak government to be displayed in a museum. Her Majesty revealed that it was part of a dowry given to her by her husband, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyadzuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah.
This is a gift, a wedding gift in one of the 16 trays when I got married to my husband. This was in one of the 3, and it is a Sarawak krinkan that was given to me from my husband. So I'm trying today to present this back to the Sarawak. I know it's made in Sarawak, so I have to present it back to the government of Sarawak so that you can display it in the museum.
Her Majesty said this in her speech at the opening ceremony of the Lembaran Emas Series 2 Borneo Textile Symposium on Tuesday. At the same time, Her Majesty has called on other states in Malaysia to emulate Sarawak in organizing symposiums on the different arts and handicrafts in the country. Her Majesty praised Sarawak as being one of the first in the nation to hold such symposiums, which she remarked as a good platform to share views and ideas on Malaysia's arts and crafts. Her Majesty also hopes to hold meetings to establish a Royal Artisan Society to gather artisans and instill in them the importance of passing down knowledge on the various arts and handicrafts.
So we must see that this knowledge and heritage do not fade with the passage of time. And it is important that all the artisans pass down their knowledge and for us to document every part of it for us to be able to pass it down to future generations.
At the symposium, Her Majesty disclosed that the textile industry is expanding and evolving globally, signaling a high demand for it. The symposium, Team Connecting Textiles to Communities for Sustainable Growth, is held from December 5th to 7th at Pullman Hotel. It aims to enhance and propel Sarawak's textile preservations and conservations. The contractor building of the 98.5 million ringgit Batang Rambungan Bridge has been told to solve its cash flow and workers' issues as soon as possible. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Umbas, said the project completion is now almost 3 years delayed, including of the 2 years when its construction was halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The project is supposed to be completed by 16 December of this year, but has since been revised to 23rd June next year.
He warned the contractor will be subjected to stiff penalty for non-compliance of the completion schedule. At present, the bridge is at 45.52% completion as opposed to the scheduled 82.96% completion. To this, Ugas said the contractor's catch-up plan is crucial as the Works Department has projected it to be completed by the third quarter of 2024. He said the contractor will not be allowed to carry on if there were enough evidence to indicate it could not do so. The 560-meter long two-lane single-carriage bridge is carried by the Precious Credence JV Kejuba Sendirian Berhad, a joint ventureship between a local and a Chinese company. It also forms part of the Sarawak Coastal Road Project. He warned the contractor will be subjected to stiff penalty for non-compliance of the completion schedule. At present, the bridge is at 45.52% completion as opposed to the scheduled 82.96% completion. To this, Ugas said the contractor's catch-up plan is crucial as the Works Department has projected it to be completed by the third quarter of 2024. He said the contractor will not be allowed to carry on if there were enough evidence to indicate it could not do so. The 560-meter long two-lane single-carriage bridge is carried by the Precious Credence JV Kejuba Sendirian Berhad, a joint ventureship between a local and a Chinese company. It also forms part of the Sarawak Coastal Road Project.
The Omicron BA.5 variant is still the dominant variant in Sarawak. Director of the Institute of Health and Community Medicine, University of Malaysia Sarawak Unimas, Professor Dr. David Pereira said it continues to dominate, representing approximately 75% of all detections done from September 28 to November 27 this year. The matter was revealed by Dr. Pereira during the latest SARS-CoV-2 genomic surveillance in Sarawak on Tuesday. According to him, a total of 309 samples of positive cases throughout the state were successfully sequenced over the period. He added a detailed analysis of the Omicron variants of concern showed that multiple sublineages of the BA.5 are circulating in Sarawak, including the recently described sublineages such as the BF.27, BL.1, BM1.1, and BN.1. Dr. Pereira also disclosed that there is a notable rise in the detection of the XBB recombinant variant in the state, with the XBB.1 sublineage dominant, but with other sublineages including the XBB.2, XBB.3, and XBB.4 being detected. At the same time, he strongly advised the public to be aware of the heightened risk of an increase in infection rates in view of the rise of more transmissible Omicron lineages in the state. He calls upon those who have yet to receive their booster shots, especially for individuals with comorbidities, those above 50 years of age, and those who had previously received only a single dose of the vaccine, to do so immediately. The Sarawak government has high regard for the textile industry, as it has a lot of potential to contribute to the development of the country's economy as well as livelihood. State Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said the Sarawak handicraft industry reached 15.7 million ringgit in sales, which was achieved through the tireless efforts of the 687 members of the Sarawakian crafts community in 2021.
Our government has high regard for the textile industry. There's a lot of potential to contribute to the development of our country's economy and livelihood. Hence, we have recognized traditional craft as one of the major players in our economic strategy, with a special focus on local textile, such as Sarawak Songket and Karikam.
He said this in his welcoming speech at the launching ceremony of Lembaran Emas Series 2 Borneo Textile Symposium 2022 on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Abdul Karim said it is especially important that the development of local talents today be made the focal point in sustaining the textiles community.
It is especially important that the development of local talents today be made the focal point sustaining our textile community. With the support of different agencies in textile, in training textile-related skills among the local talents, as well as a harmonious ecosystem, Sarawak can and will be, inshallah, an exemplary creative hub for our textile heritage.
On the symposium, Abdul Karim said it was inspired by the ASEAN Textile Symposium held in Putrajaya last September. He said that during the ASEAN Textile Symposium, there were many insights gained from the experts and speakers who have been in the textile world for many years. The launching ceremony was graced by the presence of the Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria, who is the patron of the symposium. Among those present were Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Apang Johari Tun Openg's wife, Datuk Amar Jumani Tuanku Bujang, Deputy Premier Datuk Amar Douglas Ugah Embas's wife, Datin Amar Dorin Mayang, and Deputy Premier Datuk Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian's wife, Datin Sri N. Ong.
Tourism has entered a new paradigm with digital transformation in the industry picking up speed. As such, enabling and facilitating a seamless travel experience requires a smooth as well as quality end-to-end engagement to make smart analytics for comprehensive traveler data. Now, in tandem with this, Sarawak Tourism Board STB on Tuesday unveiled its new and improved Sarawak Travel Portal and apps. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said creating a quality end-to-end experience for tourists is important to improve travelers' engagement in the state.
Robust digitalization strategy is what we need to stay resilient as we move forward in line with the Sarawak's government digital economy agenda. Big data collected from our digital platform help us to analyze travelers' behavior and trends and therefore contribute to delivering better services.
The improved travel portal and app are equipped with cutting-edge technologies such as virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR components, and users get to experience Sarawak through a 360-degree experience. He added the future iteration of the platform will include e-commerce features for online bookings. A collaborative effort between the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts (MTCP), Sarawak Multimedia Authority (SMA), STB, and University Malaysia Sarawak (UNIMAS) provides an added value experience for travelers to Sarawak. The new upgrades see 4 new content modules, namely scenic sites, national parks and nature reserves, food trails, and an interactive game module, which allows users to take virtual tours of places of interest.
Now, still to come after the break, new Youth and Sports Minister to prioritize athletes' needs and welfare. Plus, Anwar tells Muhyiddin not to challenge him. Right here on TVS Nightline, we'll be back. Hello there and welcome back. Newly appointed Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh hopes to meet athletes nationwide soon to discuss their needs and welfare. At the same time, the Sengambut Member of Parliament will focus on strengthening existing programs, taking care of the athletes' welfare, as well as making sports accessible to all. She told the press conference today that she had no intention of disrupting the athletes' preparation by making any sudden changes.
Pimpinan baru mungkin ada program baru semua, tapi saya tak ada hasrat untuk memperkenalkan program-program baru dulu. Saya nak dengar dan saya nak cari jalan untuk memperkasakan program sedia ada. Aspek-aspek yang saya nak lihat adalah satu, untuk pastikan sukan ini accessible kepada semua. Yang keduanya untuk memberikan satu safe space, keadaan yang selamat untuk para atlet atlet kita. Yang ketiganya dari segi kebajikan, security for our athletes. Yang itu saya banyak dengar daripada para atlet.
Yeoh also expressed the need for transparency in carrying out responsibility and accountability in spending. Hannah clocked in officially today for her first day of work at the ministry's office in Putrajaya. Meanwhile, State Youth, Sport and Entrepreneur Development Minister Datuk Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah looks forward to welcoming Yeoh to Sarawak. Describing her as an experienced politician, he hopes that Sarawak and Sabah will not be excluded from the federal government programs and activities.
Hannah is a very experienced lady, very well accepted. She is one of those who managed to get among the highest vote. That means people like her. And I believe she will be a good sport minister. If Hannah wants to come to Sarawak, she is most welcome. She's most welcome. We would be very happy.
Sarawak is set to become the biggest economic powerhouse in Malaysia by 2030. In regards to this, Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dr. Sim Kui Hian, called on Sarawakans working overseas to collectively contribute to Sarawak's economic development.
And we need Sarawakians, be it overseas and honestly, to come back and help to build up Sarawak. And for Sarawak, right, come 2030, there's no question that Sarawak is the largest economy in Malaysia. No question about that. Secondly, we're the third largest. The second largest economy in Malaysia now at the moment is Selangor. What is the state budget of Selangor? 2.45 billion. What is Sarawak budget now? 2018 is 5 to 6 billion. This year is 11 billion.
He said this when speaking at the 20th anniversary celebration of PC Image Sindiran Berhad and Malaysia Book of Records MBOR Award ceremony on Monday. Thus, he said the people need to be aware of the government's direction and trajectory, especially in terms of business opportunities for entrepreneurs that could contribute to Sarawak's economy. Previously, Dr. Sim witnessed the handing over of MBOR Certificate of Recognition to PC Image Sdn Bhd on its achievement as Malaysia's biggest computer outlet, and the momentous occasion skyrocketed the organization as one of the country's leading computer retail franchises. PC Image Sdn Bhd started in Kuching in the year 2000 at Wisma Sabarkas, and now its business have expanded to Sabah and Peninsular Malaysia with over 30 branches nationwide.
Bidayuh Artists and Musicians Association Sarawak will organize the Bidayuh Music Awards for the second time on December 12th. The award ceremony is back on a large scale after nearly 3 years of hiatus due to the pandemic, with the support of the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts. According to Deputy Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dato' Snowdan Lawan, the winners will take home 2,000 ringgit in cash, trophies and certificates of participation in 8 categories.
And of course, this bukan dia sekali dua saja, but hopefully akan diadakan in the future lah. In the future, maybe not every year, probably if you cannot do it every year, 2 tahun sekali pun is okay juga.
He hopes the award ceremony will continue to actively empower and serves as a recognition to the Dayak music community in Sarawak. Through BMA 2022 initiative, Snowdan also encourages the youth to invest and immerse in local music to preserve its uniqueness. BMA 2022 will be held at a Pullman Hotel at 8 p.m. on December 12, 2022. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim today cautioned Perikatan Nasional or PN Chairman Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin against challenging his government regarding the issue of 600 billion ringgit funds that were allegedly misappropriated by the government under Muhyiddin's administration.
The Prime Minister said that based on the information obtained, there were some processes and procedures that were not followed by the PN government. He added there were companies with interests involving the families involved.
Jadi saya ingin jelaskan, bukan maksud saya seperti mana saya nak tumpu perhatian mengurus negara ini, memacu pertumbuhan ekonomi dan memberi kebajikan kepada rakyat. Tapi sebaik di Sabah, kita terpaksa melihat.
He said this in his first press conference as finance minister. Yesterday, Muhyiddin told a media conference after delivering a speech at the PN Grand Finale talk that Anwar should investigate the matter pertaining to the 600 billion ringgit fund before making any statements. Anwar, who is Pakatan Harapan PH chairman, questioned Muhyiddin on his statement when he was Prime Minister, claiming that it was misleading.
National car maker Proton Holdings Berhad has sold 126.682 units year to date, surpassing the 114,708 units it sold in the whole of 2021 by 10.4%. However, Deputy Chief Executive Officer Roslan Abdullah said November was an eventful sales month for Proton as the car maker experienced some temporary supply issue, resulting in its sales decline by 13.1% to 11,316 units compared to October.
In a statement today, Roslan said they are confident of rectifying this in December and remain positive about ending 2022 with a 4th consecutive year of sales growth. The carmaker had set a sales target of 150,000 vehicles for 2022. Meanwhile, Roslan said with new models in the pipeline for 2023, Proton hopes to be able to increase its contribution to Malaysia's economy by making more local investments, selling more vehicles, and further growing its export markets. Recently, the car maker celebrated the production of 10,000 1.5 turbo gasoline direct injection (TGDI) engine produced at its new Tanjung Malim engine assembly line on December 1st. The milestone was achieved just 7 months after the first unit roll off the line in April this year. Meanwhile, CEO Lee Chun-rong said in 2023 they are targeting an output of 60,000 engines, which will be used across several Proton models.
In foreign development, Indonesia's parliament approved a criminal code on Tuesday that bans sex outside of marriage with a punishment of up to 1 year in prison. This is part of a raft of legal changes that critics say will undermine civil liberties in the world's third largest democracy.
The new code, which will apply to Indonesians and foreigners alike, will also prohibit cohabitation between unmarried couples. It was passed with support from all political parties and despite warnings from business groups that it could scare away tourists and harm investment. However, the code will not come into effect for 3 years to allow for implementing regulations to be drafted. Currently, Indonesia bans adultery but not premarital sex. The laws also includes bans on black magic, insulting the president or state institutions, spreading views counter to state ideology, and staging protests without notification. Critics say the new laws can be used to police morality in the world's largest Muslim-majority nation, which has seen a rise in religious conservatism in recent years. The public response to the new code has been muted so far, with only small protests held in the capital on Monday.
Now, who will win the coveted title of Getaran Jiwa? Don't forget to catch the latest episode of TVS's new reality program Getaran Jiwa this Friday, beginning with the Debaran Jiwa capsule at 7:30 p.m., followed by Getaran Jiwa live concert at 8:45 p.m. The public is also invited to watch the concert live at the MBCAS Stadium in Bintaro. For more information, follow Getaran Jiwa official Facebook page and Instagram. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news update, both locally and internationally. More headlines anytime, visit tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Dr. Salit. Thank you for watching.